Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw that responsive buyers were active at the 24 to 26 support zone from yesterday and moved ES back up to the 34 resistance where sellers capped the upside. And at this point, there are two scenarios that we're going to focus on. The primary scenario is going to be a range extension to the downside and a test of the 18 to 20 initial support zone. But in order for that to happen, we'd like to see continued weakness in the Russell. Russell made a new swing low yesterday, and at this point, NQ and ES could follow and put in a catch-up move. And on the downside, we saw a pretty strong response last time we got down to 18, but at this point, it would be a second test of that zone. And even though we can get some rotational activity and responsive buyers could still be active at the 18 to 20 support, at this time we're not expecting a big rejection or a complete reversal off of that zone, and more than likely at this point buyers are going to have to step in at lower prices, right? So when we go down to 18 to 20, we can get some profit taking, we can get a bounce, but at that point sellers would be in firm control, and we could actually extend down into the 15 quarter support and then down towards the 06 to 08. And at that point, once you get really exhausted on the day time frame, perhaps buyers can step in. But break below 24 to 26, below 18 to 20 would confirm sellers in firm control. So we will have to be cautious on taking any long setups at those lower support areas unless the market gets really, really extended and very exhausted on the day time frame and just exhausting the range potential on the day. And in this recent 2 to 3 weeks, we've seen that the average ranges have been around 20 to 25 points. So there is some decent potential if the market starts selling off below 24 to 26. On the upside, in the event of a break above 32.75 to 34.75, we can still get a rejection at 36.5 and 38 quarter to 40 quarter. And bigger picture, the 38 quarter to 40 quarter is really key resistance at this point. And as long as the market holds below that area, sellers can still maintain control. So even if we got a break above the overnight high and above the pre-market resistance zone, sellers could still regain control later in the session off of the 36.5 or the 38 quarter to 40 quarter. And as long as we hold below that zone, the downside could still play out. Now, ideally, the market holds below the pre-market resistance, right? Ideally, we don't go above and we don't put in such a big bounce. And, that would be ideal for the sell side, and then we can get some continued liquidation. But even if we bounced up to 38 quarter to 40 quarter, it wouldn't really invalidate the larger time frame downtrend that is in play right now. In the event that we actually break above initial resistance, then we'll have to reassess. We'll have to readjust our bias because then we could just be bouncing in a range, and we can still get sellers active at the resistance zones above, and we can still get rotational moves off of those zones, but the big liquidation scenario would then be out of the picture, at least short term. So right now the main focus is going to be on the downside. Pre-market resistance 32.75 to 34.75. Ideally, ES holds below that zone. On the downside, a break below 24 to 26 would confirm the weakness that we saw yesterday, and that can lead to a test of 18 to 20. We can get some rotation there. It's an okay spot to take some profit if you're short, but not necessarily the best spot to go long, because at this point in time, the market's probably going to have to extend down at least to 15 quarter to find some buyers. That's a spot where buyers could be a bit more active. And then below 15 quarter, we could get a liquidation move down towards the 06 to 08. We have a couple of small support levels along the way, just to be aware of. But really, below 15 quarter, the next main spot is going to be down at 06 to 08. So those are the main ideas heading into the open. Let's see whether the sellers can really maintain control this morning and hold ES below 32.75 to 34.75, and we'll take it from there.